electric, one electric, BANNOCK. I am here out in beautiful Watson Park in sunny Saskatoon. We are with Smoke Break, a pro revolution idea that goes all the way to a Looking Glass Inc. moment. We are at a Smoke Break, obviously. We are going to find out about this gentleman right here. And this gentleman is a hip-hop artist from what I've been hearing. So let's move on to who this gentleman is. So, the who, what, where, and when. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, you know, I'm killing it.
Good, and you are?
I am Kross. I go by IKON.
Awesome, awesome. You do a lot of hip-hop artistry, I take it?
I pretend to, you know, I do what I can.
That's awesome. You have some music out, obviously?
I do. I have quite a bit. I think I have over 60 songs out and at least just about a dozen videos, so.
Well, very, very cool. You want to tell our viewers out there where we can find a couple of these songs if we wanted to hear a little bit of you?
So, as usual, always be checking out the Pro Revolution page, as well as checking out Looking Glass Productions. They're always sponsoring and putting out a bunch of my work. You can also look me up just under my name, Kross, on SoundCloud, YouTube, IKON the Nemesis on Facebook. There's links all over the place if you want to find me.
And that's the way that you find this gentleman's music. So we want to find out who you are, so we know your name. So where are you from?
Originally, I'm from the Seattle area.
Awesome.
I moved to Canada about 10 years ago. I was living in Alberta, and then I came to Saskatchewan, I would say, about 4 or 5 years ago.
Cool.
And I've been kicking it here ever since.
Awesome, awesome. How do you like our sunny Saskatoon city of bridges?
I'm liking it, man. I'm living in the Swift Current area, so it gets better than that.
Well, I hope so. Now that we know who you are, where you're from, you're now living here in sunny Saskatoon. Have you been anywhere else in our province?
Oh, I'm definitely not living here. And
okay, you're on Swift?
I'm still in Swift.
Oh, okay.
And aside from Regina and Saskatoon, not really. I don't do a lot of traveling inside Canada. I've done a lot outside, but I still got a lot to see when it comes to this country.
Well, that is awesome. So how long have you been hooked up with the Pro Revolution production crew?
So I would say it's been close to about 9 months, maybe pushing a year now that I've been talking with Kross, LePage, and a few other artists and people from Pro Revolution. And I think it's just been recently, within the past 2 or 3 months, that I've been actually able to do a lot more work with them when it comes to recording songs or interviews like this.
Absolutely. So all of this, obviously people are going to ask right away, has the COVID moment impacted the music industry in your area of music?
As it's impacted everybody, hip-hop has taken a big hit everywhere, for all small promotion venues to even large promotion venues and underground artists. It's really hard right now for people to get their voices and their music out there when they can't perform shows or look to proper venues to do things like that. But big shout out to Pro Rev for actually giving artists a platform to be able to do so at this time.
Absolutely. We know that you're connected to Pro Revolution, and now that you are connected to that Inc. moment, does it help the music that you're doing get pushed forward a little bit easier than what you were doing while you were by yourself?
It definitely does, because everyone on Pro Rev is really good at spreading other artists' music towards their fan base as well.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times you'll find in groups such as Pro Rev or other ones that artists are very focused inward and they don't really promote a lot of the other people in that organization. Pro Rev is wonderful for that.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I've been watching them for a very long time throughout my radio time and stuff. So a big question for it. So for younger artists that are trying to break the scene, at least they have a good, honest platform that they can actually come to, and nobody's going to be taking something from them to make themselves look better. So when in working, what positive thing could you tell our younger generation today that would work to go towards the hip-hop genre?
A big thing is just persistence. You're not always going to have consistency, but you need persistence. It's really hard to find a consistency, whether it be in the quality of the music you're putting out, the amount of music you can put out, videos, or whatever it be, but keep driving, because this game is very much driven on what's the last thing people remember you doing, so don't make that last thing too far in the past.
Awesome. So, of course, the big question for a lot of us older people always, because we grew up, as I've spoken before, we grew up with a country-based kind of music around us, including myself. Why did you choose the hip-hop genre over maybe powwow music or something more closer to our culture?
Well, when it comes down to it, it just hit home for me. I grew up in a Mexican-Korean household, and a very prominent music in that household was funk music. So I grew up always listening to Funkadelic, Parliament, P-Funk. George Clinton is amazing. I've gotten to meet him on a few occasions living in Seattle. And from that, it just slowly evolved from funk music to the old school hip hop into the new genres of rap, and it very quickly just developed into a love and a passion for rap music and hip hop.
Awesome. So for our younger generation, so when you actually write out your lyrics and when you're putting out your lyrics, do you try to tend to stay away from the negative words and stuff when writing, or do you blend that in there so it works with?
I'm a firm believer in there should be no censorship in art whatsoever. I'll drop F-bombs and everything else. I'll talk about grimy shit. But a big thing is just don't overdo it, in a sense that don't be talking about stuff that you're not gonna do. You attract energy that you put out. So if you're sitting there talking about all this, I'd go rah rah and this and that and the other thing, then expect to draw that energy back to yourself. So keep that in mind when you're making your music.
You basically tell everybody to focus on the positive of the music instead of trying to make it
focus
more bad.
on you.
Yeah.
Focus on you. Even if you are a more angry person, just stay true to yourself. That's a smoke break right there.
Yeah, it was a smoke break right there, folks. Well, you know, we do get those here on this show. I don't know about other shows. I gotta say though, very interesting career choice, you know, in music. I mean, I grew up in music as well. So when we make that decision to do it, you know, it's a long, long trail, you know. How's your trail been walking on this musical road?
Unforgiving. Unforgiving, as I'm sure it has
word.
been for everybody else who's ever attempted this path. This industry is full of sharks, and sharks want a bite of everything. That's the first off. Another thing is just, there's a lot of oversaturation, especially in this time period. Everybody wants to be a rapper or a producer or something like that. So you definitely have to do something that's going to make yourself stand out from the pack, because it's so large right now.
Well, yeah, you know, too many wolves, too many chiefs, not enough tribal people. You know, that kind of a moment, right? If you want everybody wants to be the head wolf, but they want to eat everybody, and if you eat everybody in your pack, well, then you're soon alone.
Indeed.
You know, so that would be just my opinion in that. But I mean, I know what you mean by a dog-eat-dog world in the music. It's in every genre. It's not just rap or hip hop. It's in country. It's in rock. You know, people are so willing to push other people aside just for their own stardom.
For sure.
I myself am a firm believer in you're not a star when you're still standing on the planet. You know, so if you keep your feet firmly planted on the ground, you will always know where you are.
It definitely helps to have humility, especially in the music game. It's easy to let things go to your head, especially if you start putting out a lot of good product and people are recognizing you for that. I haven't even hit that point yet, but I'm hoping to soon, and I would like to keep my humility.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the IKON, and you know, I like the name because, you know, people like this do become icons in our communities because they lead from other people leading down a wrong pathway and give them a brand new era to walk. Instead of maybe down a meth highway, they can actually walk down a physical highway. They both give you the same high.